So Motion 37 really tries to bring to conclusion about 15 years or more of conversation in the FSC on how to deal with the changing or the conversion of natural ecosystems, and particularly forest ecosystems, to non-forest ecosystems, or to development or agriculture or other uses. So what FSC is trying to do with Motion 37 and what the proposers of it want to do is they want to create a circumstance where more operations can come into the system that want to be certified, but they may have converted between 94 and 2020. And so it's really trying to engage with those operations. Many of those operations in places like Africa, in terms of commodities like rubber, a lot of the conversion that has happened on a larger scale has happened since 94. And right now, FSC is pretty much irrelevant for those situations. And we've got to change that. And it's about time. We need to start doing things. Motion 37 tries to bring, we can learn as we go. It doesn't mean we can't learn and improve things as we go, but we need to start doing remedy. We need to start applying the FSC principles and criteria on all of those forests. And even more importantly, we need to start restoring some of these areas that were converted to something other than forest and getting them back into forest. So I think you have at least two kind of messages coming. One is a message on the part of, I would say, mostly environmental and social stakeholders, that all of the proposals aren't clear enough, that we need even more time, that we need to spend even more time addressing every specific element or potential scenario. My response to that is, we've had a lot of time, and a lot of this has all been conversation and theoretical discussion. It hasn't been practicing. So we need to get to the point where we practice and then improve things based on the things we're learning going forward. And it's not so theoretical, it's practice. It's really doing practical things, finding what works, finding what doesn't work, and then improving it based on practice rather than theories, which is where we are now. So that's one kind of concern, primarily from some environmental and some social organizations, NGOs in particular. The other kind of issue that we're running into is a sensitive one, and it's about competition. And there are companies that have had FSC. They got FSC sometime after the 1994. And they feel like if new companies are allowed to come into the system that converted forest land, doesn't that create an unfair playing field? Is that, and isn't that going to undermine my business if I was already FSC certified? Part of that, if it was competition just on environmental and social performance, then I don't think we would be an issue. But the problem is, in some cases, they're actually arguing that there should be a penalty by all those companies that converted forever, that they should never be able to compete. Well, the reality is they're already out there competing. They may not compete in a certified market space, but they're already competing. They're already there. We need to get them engaged so that they improve their operations to FSC standards. And we have to be concerned that some of this competitive dynamic can create what I consider to be negative business practices. FSC has never wanted to enter into non-competitive dynamics. It's never wanted to be involved in that kind of situation. And I think it's really important that FSC makes a statement that it's not going to do that. It's always said it's not going to do that, but let's now move forward and have them compete on environmental and social performance. But this is not about pricing. This is not about access to a particular market, etc. It's about moving forward and getting engagement from all of these operations. They're already out there competing in the worldwide market. So if they think they're going to be able to use FSC to restrict free trade or practice of competition, I think they're mistaken. I don't think that's in line with FSC values. One of the things it very clearly communicates is FSC is committed to supporting restoration. We started the UN Decade in 2021. It's a 10-year effort to try to emphasize restoration globally, and and it just clearly positions FSC as part of the solution to the challenge. The other part of it is that I think where it will create change is it will get communities that have been long seeking remedy, they can start to get remedy. They can start to see the positives of what the FSC system can bring to them. Right now, we aren't a factor. We're not affecting things. We're not changing things like we could be doing it. It's so far it's a lot of talk. We need to get beyond that, and we need to get to the point of moving and having and taking it. The FSC system right now is missing opportunities to affect positive change. That affects a lot of Africa. That affects a number of key other countries in Asia, a few in Central and South America. It also affects sectors. And the rubber sector in particular is a sector that I think is really important that we can have positive impact on. And most of the conversion there happened after 1994. So I think that it's important for us to engage in all of these sectors and see and make sure that FSC is in there. It's part of the sustainability discussion, and it's affecting change there.